What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Eleaf iCare. Do you know someone that currently smokes cigarettes that you're trying to get to quit? Or are you looking for a secondary pocket mod for work or stealth vaping? Well, the Eleaf iCare might just be for you. Now, before I get into this video, guys, I do have to state my intent by saying that I did purchase this device with my own money for the purpose of doing this video review. However, my opinions on it will remain honest and unbiased. So since I'm not being sponsored or paid to do this video, I decided to take a look around the internet and try to find the best deal. So if you want to pick up one of these devices for yourself, or maybe someone that you're looking to convert to vaping, make sure you click the link down there I have in the description. I found it for a really good price. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive down to the close-up view, talk about some specs, and check out what's in the box. Alright guys, so as you can see, we have our Eleaf iCare in its original box. Let's just quickly take a look around the packaging here. We have the website on that side and that side, the Eleaf logo on the bottom, and on the top we have the color indication. On the back we have a simple description here with a scratch-off indicator so you can find out whether or not it's authentic. Let's just take off the cover. And underneath we have our iCare itself, our iCare mod. So pulling this little tab thing here, we get to see the goodies underneath. And it comes with a micro USB cable, which is what you're going to need to charge it. A very simple quick start guide in several different languages. Let's see, we've got English, French, German, Spanish, Italian, and Russian. So this is good for all over the world. A lot of major languages. And finally, we have our coil. This is a 1.1 ohm coil that it comes with. Actually, it comes with two of them. However, I have one installed in my mod right now. So real quick, let's just go ahead and take a look at some of the features on this device. So first of all, the dimensions are 3 inches by 1.5 inches by 9/16 of an inch. It's a classic automatic style battery, so as soon as you start pulling on this thing, it's going to start firing up. It's an all-in-one device, which means there's no separate tanks or anything like that. The output wattage range is 15 watts max. The resistance range is 1 ohm to 3.5 ohms. However, I believe only the 1.1 ohm coils are available currently. The e-liquid capacity is a 1.8 milliliter e-liquid capacity in there for the tank. Built-in battery capacity is 650 milliamp hours. It's got a top fill design, which is really kind of cool. You can actually just take off the top cap here, and that little rectangular slot right there lines up with your chamber adjustment tool thing here. And this you just use to unscrew. And once you get that all undone, this pops out. And your coil sits at the bottom end there. And that's your juice chamber right here. So that's not the one you fill. Don't touch that little rubbery piece right there. This is the one you fill up with juice. And it's got a max fill line on the tank section. I know it's going to be probably impossible to see here, but trust me, it's got a max fill line about halfway up the tank. So the airflow adjustment is fairly simple on this device here. All you have to do is adjust the outside control ring to open up or close off however many holes you want to the desired airflow sections. So I have about half of one air hole open right now, and that's giving me a nice tight restricted mouth to lung draw. So in the bottom of your juice chamber, there's going to be an LED that activates whenever you start taking a pull off of your device, and that's the battery indicator. So when it's green, it means your device is good to go. When it's yellow, it's about 50% charged, and when it's red, it means it's time to charge your iCare. So speaking of charging, let's take a look at the bottom part real quick. Right there you have your charging port. That's a micro USB port. Obviously it comes with the cable as you saw earlier, and you can use this device as a pass-through, so you can puff on it while you're charging it, but it also conveniently charges in about half an hour to 45 minutes. So that about does it for the close-ups. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of this video. Now let's talk about some of my personal thoughts, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting it off today with the pros, and my first pro is that it's small, compact, and lightweight. Now, I have pretty big hands here, and as soon as I put this mod up next to my hand, it basically disappears. I can just cut my hand like that, and there you go, it's gone. So this is a perfect stealthy vape. So whenever I want to be inconspicuous walking around the streets and not get a lot of attention from strangers, this mod comes with me no matter where I go. And this way I'm not blowing huge clouds of vapor everywhere, but I still get my nicotine. So this mod being so small is definitely a pro for me personally. All right, my second pro is the tank capacity on this one. It's a 1.8 milliliter juice capacity for this tank here, and that's definitely up there considering the size of this little device here. Me personally, I don't use this mod full time, and I do mouth to lung inhales. So for those of you that are using this either full time or with a direct to lung inhale, you're going to notice that you're going to get maybe a full day out of it, but still, even with that, the performance on this thing is outstanding. So there you go. My third pro is the battery life. Again, with the battery life, I get 2 full days out of it. Again, I have to say, with those of you that are using this thing full time or doing direct to lung inhales, you're going to notice the battery life is a little bit shorter than I get out of it, but the charging time is also very short. You get about half an hour to 45-minute charge from being a fully dead battery to a fully charged battery, which is definitely something that's convenient for me personally. Next up, we have the Coils Are Cheap and Last a While. I've been using the same exact coil that it came with for the past 2 weeks on this thing, and it's still going strong. I can tell that it's almost towards the end of its lifespan. It's kind of starting to taste a little bit funky to me, but for 2 weeks on a cheap coil like these here, I definitely think that's more than passable in my book. Next up, we have the mouthpiece doubles as a tool to remove the coil section. As you saw in the close-ups, you can easily just take off this mouthpiece, and then you get like a little wrench sort of thing with it there that you can use to take off that coil section that comes right out. So that's kind of nice. You know, honestly, with your fingers, it would be a little bit difficult to seat the coil in there really snug, and that definitely helps me out a lot. My final pro is the price. The price on this one tends to range from $14 to $20 online, and you really cannot beat that. If you're looking for a secondary stealthy rig to pick up for you, or if you're trying to convert your friend from smoking cigarettes to vaping, then definitely give the Eleaf iCare a look, because honestly, I feel like these are going to definitely help out a lot of current smokers. So with that, let's move on to some cons. My first con with this device here is that it gurgles a little bit. Now, not as bad as some of the other devices, the mouth-to-lung devices that I've been trying out recently, but if I leave this one, you know, sitting for a while on my desk or something like that, and I go to pick it up, sometimes I'll get that first initial gurgle of juice. Usually what I do when that happens is I just take it and flick it out like that, or tap it over a paper towel, and that solves the issue instantly. Now, with that, you're going to waste a little bit of juice. It's nothing to really be concerned about, but honestly, I just felt like it was worth mentioning since I've been having that problem ever since I bought the device. My second con is the airflow setup is more for direct to lung vaping. Now, the way I have it set up here, it's at 1/2 of one air hole open. Now, you can have this all the way open to 5 air holes, and when it's opened up any more than 1 or 2 air holes, for me personally at least, it's just a little bit too loose of a restricted draw for me to actually mouth to lung inhale on. And I've seen people use this device doing a direct to lung inhale, and they get a far better performance out of it. For me, I'm really happy with the way I have it set up right now. I'm using 12 milligram juice in there, and my usual nicotine strength is 3 milligram on my other rigs. So for me, it's not really a bad thing. I have it set up right now to how I like it, and it's working just fine for me. I'm getting a little puff out of it, but not too much vapor, which is exactly what I wanted out of it. Next up, we have the mouthpiece. Could be more comfortable or made out of rubber. And yeah, this is a very hard plasticky kind of mouthpiece, and I really feel like it's a little bit more uncomfortable than it could be. They could have definitely made this out of rubber or some softer material. They could even still have it be set up for having the little wrench attachment on the bottom and get away with it being a bit more comfortable. So for me personally, that hard plastic mouthpiece is just a little bit awkward feeling when you're puffing on this thing. And sometimes I like to have it just kind of dangle when I'm driving or something like that. I'll just have it dangling from my mouth, and it just kind of feels a little bit weird. So just felt like mentioning that. That might be a subjective con for me personally, but I'll let you guys decide. And my final con is the LED in the bottom is very dim. To be honest with you guys, I didn't even know that there was an LED in the bottom of this little tank here until I actually looked down and I saw something glowing, and I thought there was a problem with the thing. The LED is so dim to the point when I have to cup my hand around it in a brightly lit room or outdoors just to be able to see where my battery's at. Now, I can usually feel the difference between the battery levels, whether or not it's fully charged or halfway charged or almost dead. But then again, since they included that feature on there, it just kind of feels a little bit too weak for me. I would have liked to have seen maybe just a simple LED on the outside or something like that, just to, you know, I think that would be a lot more efficient use of an actual light on this thing. So you've been doing your homework, you've been watching a bunch of reviews like this, and you still don't know whether or not you want to purchase the Eleaf iCare. Well, my answer to that would be a 100% resounding yes. This little device right here at the price point is the perfect companion mod for your current setup, or if you're looking to convert a loved one to vaping, then buy them one of these. I really feel like this is going to convert a lot of people to vaping, and I really bought this as a throwback to when I first started vaping about 5 years ago. I wanted to see how far the technology has improved, and I gotta tell you, I really wish we had these 5 years ago, because it would have been so much easier to convert a lot more people back then, because back then we only had these little tiny stick batteries and bridgeless atomizers or cardos that never really worked properly, and nowadays having a technology like this here is just something that is a dream, I gotta tell you. So if you're on the fence about purchasing one of these Eleaf iCares, just go over that fence, because this thing is definitely going to be for you. So I'll have a link down in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Of course, leave me comments in the box below of what you think of the Eleaf iCare, or if you have any questions about it that I didn't cover in this video, make sure you ask them down there. I'd love to talk to you guys. Also, check out the advocacy links I have in the description below. Make sure you're fighting for your right to vape. And check me out on all my different social medias. I have Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow me on there, like my page on Facebook, check out my Snapchat, and if you want to give me a couple bucks on Patreon, that would be awesome as well. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, vape on!